2 of my sabbatical is about to begin. For those of you who thought I'd already left the country, I'm sorry, but that happens tomorrow. The last few days I've been spending trying to get my head out of work mode and packing and making arrangements, trying to sort out conversations with people all over Europe. Tomorrow morning I will be driving down to Folkestone, crossing over into Calais, and then I will spend the next 41 days driving across France, Switzerland, Luxembourg and Italy. The route is not the same route as Columbanus took on his first journey 1400 years ago, but it incorporates many of the locations that he visited on his journey. He went backwards and forwards across what we now know as Europe several times over many years. And I will be spending significant time in 3 particular locations. The first will be Luxembourg, where he created his first community, and then later in St. Gallen, where one of his disciples, St. Gall, started a community there, and which is now a World Heritage Site. And then finally in Bobbio, in Italy, where he formed his final community, and where Jonas of Bobbio, a monk in his community, wrote a biography of him some 20 years after his death. It was the first ever biography written of an Irish person. Now, Sandra will be joining me in Switzerland, and we will be doing the final section of the journey together. The last week of the journey will be our holiday for this year, and we'll be stopping off in a couple of places on the way home via Calais. I'd like to show you a little map now of my journey. On my first journey, in starting tomorrow, I'm going to be driving down to Folkestone and catching the Eurotunnel across to Calais. And then from Calais, I'm going to be driving down the coast through Rouen and down to Lisieux, where a very kind group of people, part of a Baptist church, have offered to put me up in some rooms that they've got there, and I will be talking to them about church planting in France in the current time. And then a few days after that, I'm making my way to the first of my Columbanus stops, which is in the little village of Saint Columb, which is near St. Malo. What you've been watching is just a little animated route map of where I am going tomorrow, and I will post another one when I move to my next venue, and so on as we go through these videos. With the island trip, I've left the detailed itinerary open, as I want to leave space for God to direct me on my journey. The early Celtic monks, some of them were known as peregrinato, and they made the decision to leave their own communities and throw their lives into the mercy and grace of God. It was enacted, walking on the water, if you like, was reenacted in their journeys on Currach across the seas to a strange land, where they became the hands and feet of God, building new communities, building his kingdom, one conversation at a time. And likewise, I too want to be guided by the Spirit on my journey in the conversations, meetings, discoveries and challenges that this trip will face. Columbanus, one of the challenges, Columbanus didn't speak any French, German or Italian as he set sail, but he took with him St. Gall, who I mentioned earlier, who was an accomplished linguist. I don't have a St. Gall, but I do have a Google Translate or Apple Translate, which I hope will do the same job. What we both have in common, I hope, or I believe, is that God's Spirit is going to be leading the way on my journey, and as he did with Columbanus. God bless.